Still learning as we go. Good? Good. All right, you ready? Let's do this. What's cracking, world? It's your boy Joshua Q. Castro, and we're back with episode 16 of the ZosCast podcast. A lot of stuff going on in the world, so we kind of had to put a stop to everything that was going on. Well, I'm so happy, so honored to have my next guest. Currently, she's a freelance artist. Oh, sorry. See, I told you I was messing with you.
Artist, close enough.
Close enough. Okay, freelance graphic designer. And, within this process of booking her, she sent me a lot of info about her, and I can't wait for her to share it. I don't want to go through it because I'm going to mess it up. But anyways, give it up for Miss Chris Chang.
Half a day.
Yay.
Hi.
Okay, we got some people. All right.
You forgot to mention that I'm the first Korean on the show.
Oh, there you go.
Appa, I made it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she was pointing that out earlier. Yeah, I didn't realize that, but yeah, first Korean.
Yeah, thanks.
But born
so
and
much.
raised on Saipan,
Yes,
though.
yeah. Really honored to be on this show.
Yeah. How have things been with this whole COVID-19 going on with you? How's the family?
Surprisingly, really well. And
Yeah.
I've been super busy. I thought I'd have no work, but opposite of that. So I've been super busy.
Yeah. Man, follow her. I'll just plug it now on Guahusi.
Yes.
Hood
Yeah.
CMI. Man, because I was going through your pictures and stuff, and throughout this whole quarantine, like it kind of opened up a creative avenue for you to where you started just doodling, I guess.
Yes. I was just chilling and just, waiting for that pool like everyone else because, work was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get work from like off island, from the States, Korea, wherever I can get. But especially like the like May, it was really low. Like I had zero work coming in. And then all of a sudden, like, I guess like PIC wanted to do a mural so that when they're ready to bring back the tourists in, they will have some kind of like a Instagram worthy, a really nice
Those right there.
right murals to take photo of. So I've been doing 5 mural paintings for them the past month, and tomorrow's my last day, so I'm very excited.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, it's crazy because when this whole quarantine started, like you see some posts about people being bored, they don't know what to do, and like it's cool because there's some creative minds out there that took this opportunity to really hone in on their skills, to really work on their craft.
It depends on and also it also has to do with like how much you're ready. Like I've been doing before this mural painting. I actually did this is actually my first mural project that I've done professionally. Before that, it was just like, hey, I'm gonna do a mural painting in my neighborhood, like, do you want to come in and show some of your skills? So I've done like Beautify CNMI with Joel Camacho, our precinct 4 congressman, and it was just for fun. Like,
so you got a painting out there on the bridge somewhere?
It's right across Kensington.
Oh, okay.
And then I was just doing it for fun. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm just going to draw whatever I think I want to draw. And then the people across from Kensington saw what I was doing. And that's when they, hit me up and was like, hey, you want to do this? And I was like, nice. Like, that wasn't even my best work, but thanks. Like, yeah, I can actually, like, I'm not sure, like, but I think I could. And then that's how it all happened. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So that was free work, I'm guessing, that you did?
This one,
as opposed to
yeah,
this?
that was free work. It was just
okay.
volunteering for him because we have we have friendship, and like he has done so many stuff for our village, my old village, and so it was just to help him out and just
I see. And then now
and
you're
then
into
that so thank you,
work.
Joelle, like you brought me to this, like
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, this tight, man. I mean, we'll get in depth with a lot of them,
Right.
But so I always have to ask this, like, where did all this start? Like, was this something that you knew you wanted to do since elementary school, middle school? Like, what sparked that interest?
Not necessarily. I mean, I was that one Asian kid in middle school that was not interested in studying. I was miserably failing in class, especially math.
Oh, unheard of. No.
Yeah, math and English. And like my middle class father, who is very serious about education, didn't like where this was going. So he actually put me up with a tutor. And my tutor teacher, who mostly tutored most of my subjects because I was like, yeah. And she one day brought me this pamphlet that says Parsons New School of Art. And she was like, this just came into my mail. I'm not going to go to an art school, but if you're interested, here, look through it. And that's all how it happened.
Yeah. What grade was this, you said?
This was like 7th grade.
7th grade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know, at that time, I don't know if you had art classes, but when I was in school, Saipan had 0 art classes. So, I didn't know. The only thing I knew how to do was doodle in the back of my science, sheet, those classwork sheets. And so, when I was looking at that pamphlet, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know how to get there. I don't know anything about it, but I want to go to this school. And then, I did actually got accepted with a semester scholarship to Parsons. Not only Parsons, but Pratt also.
And these are all art schools?
Yeah, I applied for 5 art schools, including Rhode Island School of Design, which I ended up going. And I got all the acceptance letter, and that was pretty
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, from 7th grade to your senior year, were you doing projects in between? Was there anyone that was really recognizing your artwork, or is it something you just kind of kept to yourself?
Not necessarily. So I did a lot of researching. I didn't know where to start, so Google was the first person to go to.
Okay.
So I was on my modem internet trying to see where this is gonna go. Didn't know what to put, so I just put art and school together, and then it just gave me a full list of stuff, right? All the information. And then I just didn't know how to make a portfolio, because that was the first thing that Google told me. You need to have a portfolio. And I was like, how am I going to do that? I don't know how to do that. So I did another side research, because I know how to, read and speak Korean. So there's this another website like Google in Korean called Naver. And I went on and I did double researching just in case if I'm not missing anything.
I see.
And I came across this academy or a studio, art studio that, brings in students so that they can help with the portfolio. So
nice.
as a young kid, I came up with all these PowerPoint slides telling my dad what I'm going to do and how much is needed, because nothing in the Chang's family is free. It's a debt, right? So every time I asked my dad to do something for me, he would tell me why and when I'm gonna pay him back, right? So so I had to come up with a quick agenda, a plan.
I see.
And so my dad was my dad approved it, and then that's when I every vacation, every summer, winter vacation, I didn't do anything else, but I went to Korea just to work on my portfolio, and that lasted for almost 3-4 years.
And this is before you went to school in Rhode Island?
Right.
Oh,
so
okay.
It started off with 8th grade. End of 8th grade.
Oh, so this was all throughout grade school?
Middle school, end of middle school to high school. Yeah, so I prepared for almost 4 years every vacation just to apply. And it was tough because as a kid, I always wanted to my prom, my boyfriend ditched me during prom because I was never there with another girl. So, a lot of, I missed a lot out from high school and middle school memories because I was busy doing this
portfolio
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Wow. Tough.
You touched on a lot of stuff. When do you feel, or do you have your dad's approval now with what you're doing?
No.
Oh, until this day. Oh, okay. You still gotta pay him back.
Yeah. I am still in debt with him. So he even now he kind of helps me with this t-shirt business that I'm doing. But he always tells me, like, it's always here at the back of my mind, always reminding me, like, you still need to pay. Like, there's a contract that's saying whatever profit that's coming in, 7 to 3, and I get the 7. I'm like, I can't live with just 3, 30% of my income. So we still have that fight, and he's very, like, lenient but strict at the same time. So yeah.
Damn. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's. I wonder if that was the reason for the motivation.
Probably.
Like, were you trying to prove
there
your
was
dad
like
wrong?
a hint of it. Yeah. I think I was always like there with the rejection. Like, I was so like used to being rejected all the time. Like, when I told my dad or anyone that I was gonna go to this art school, the first thing that they said was no. Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, you're from this like small tiny island, you've never done art before, like, how are you gonna do that? And then when I when I told my parents or anyone after college that I was going to move to Korea just to see how it is, because I'm Korean, I'm full Korean, but I was lived and raised, born, I was only here. So I wanted to check out how that was living in Korea. And everyone said, no, you're gonna fail miserably. And then even with this, streetwear, like, I want to do streetwear, and everyone was like, no.
Oh, dang.
Right? And everyone's like, no, you can't do that. Why you keep taking like these paths? But I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna do it anyway.
You just
like,
rebel yourself.
Yeah, we'll see. Like,
yeah. Did you have any support from other family members, friends, maybe?
I mean, I think...
Or were you kind of solo on this? You were just tunnel vision the whole way through?
I think it was, in their own way, they were trying to support, but it wasn't like loving support. Like, like, you go for it. It was like an Asian way, like, how Asian I don't know. Asian families are very tough. So they're like, okay, you can't do that. And then when I actually do it, they're like, okay, now do this. Right? So they kind of toss you the next challenge, and then it goes on, and I'm just like, it's never ending. Like, I can never satisfy you. And then I'm here. Like,
yeah, man. But it must be, I mean, I would guess it's somewhat of a good feeling,
right,
to be at this point,
it's still a long way.
Still
but
long. Well, yeah, but you've come a long way as well. Yeah. So, I mean, with all the work that you've done, all the stuff that you showed me, like, I told you out the gate, man, like, I was pretty impressed,
Oh, thank you.
Like, again, some random shares here and there. I'll see you on some other folks, Instagram,
here
yeah.
and there. Who's this Asian girl?
No, well, I've never questioned it, but, and then, finally, I really get to know what you've actually done. And I was like, damn, okay. So I really can't wait to get into it, the thick of things, man.
I'm a little nervous.
Oh, okay. No. That's cool. Okay. So you graduate from high school.
Right.
You end up going to Rhode Island for school.
Right.
You have your portfolio all fixed up and everything.
Yeah.
So when you went there, like, first off, you were the first person from the CNMI.
Right. I was the first person from Saipan. And when my dad saw the acceptance letter, he was like, it's probably because of the demographics. That's why they picked you. And I was like, I'm going to prove that wrong. Like, I'm going to go and see, like, how long I last. And then I landed, and it was another hurdle. Like, it was like I constantly every semester got, like, letters from a professor telling me that I'm not, like I don't qualify. And, like, my work is too, like it's not
mediocre,
reaching to, like, it's not the same level as my colleagues. So, I mean, obviously, like, I've only done art, like, for 4 years, right? And my colleagues, most of them, they have, like, graphic design parents, architect fathers. They have a lot of influence from, the States. Like, living in the States is very wide opening compared to here. I'm like a little frog in a pond. So obviously, like, I am going to get all these letters telling me that I don't qualify and I need to go to like a 2-year college or something and redo my, fundamentals.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It was really hard. Like, every class was like... like, that really deep sigh that you survived. Like, and I remember that one time, like, my first class, my graphic design class, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was. It was like, you need to pick a major in your second year. And like, these are all the majors. And I'm just like looking through it, and I was like, I was like, close my eyes and just pick one. Yeah. And graphic design was one of them. So I was like, okay, why don't I just, see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then I go in, and then the professor goes, I still remember his name, John Kane. He goes, open up InDesign and change your measurements into picas. And I'm like, I know inches, I know centimeters, but I've never heard of picas. And it's like a graphic design measurement metric. It's their own metric because they're so like hip. Yeah. And so I asked my classmate next to me, I'm like, what the hell is pica? And then he comes behind me and goes, don't fucking talk to your classmate, and you need to know this basic stuff to be in my class. You said that? Yeah. And he started cussing, and I was like, holy, like I almost like peed in my pants like my first day, and I was like, I don't belong here. Like, damn. Yeah. So I would constantly call my dad and tell him like, I don't belong here. Like, I need to go home.
Damn, that's pretty strict though out there.
Yeah. It's a very prestigious art school. It's one of the top in the States. So like they were very, strict, and they were very like, they made you like, this like design making machine. Like, they made sure you knew how to do things.
Yeah, but that's funny because your portfolio is what got you in there.
Right.
And then from there, it's like all this other stuff that...
So it was good, but it wasn't the best, right?
Oh,
so,
I see.
And then they were like, okay, so this girl from this little island, she can do this. So let's see how far she goes. I guess, like, that's how they picked me. I don't know till this day. But, yeah, so,
it's probably tough love.
Probably.
Right? Yeah, because you didn't have to go to no prep school or nothing.
No.
You just stayed there for the 4 years.
Yeah. 4 years straight. Like I didn't like stop. I didn't rest. It was just straight 4 years.
Damn. So okay, so it ended up being a good thing, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Graduated on time.
Yeah. There you go. Shit, man. That's crazy. So, is it what you thought it was? Like going into that school. I guess aside from being strict, but like, did it amplify your passion or your want to become?
It did.
It did. Yeah.
It was mind-blowing how open-minded and like they're so new. Like every day was like a new challenge, new idea. And I've never seen people who were so passionate about art and all 30 of them in class, like, I mean, like I've seen people like 5 of them being passionate and like the rest being
just trying to get by.
Like, but I've never seen a class where everyone was so thrilled to talk about art, although like 90% of the time is bullshit. Like, it's like they have this like painting on and they talk about like how fancy and all these meanings are in there, but actually it's really not. and it's just to get through class. But they were so passionate though. They were like, I really wanted to do this because of so and so reasons, and because of that I used so and so things, and everything had a reason. Right. Whereas like before, it was like if I were to create something before, it was just like because it looks nice. And nice was one of the words that was banned in class. Like you can't use nice. You need to elaborate more. Like you need to tell me more. Like what about it is nice? What is so pretty? You can't just create things that are pretty. It has to also be practical. So those hard questions really challenged me, and also kind of like helped me step up a little bit to the next level. Although like for almost 3 years I didn't know what the hell I was doing the whole time. I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like they would give me assignments, but then like I would do it, but I wouldn't know why. Right? Because I was busy doing the assignment. So the meaning came later, and then finally on my last year I was like, like I finally know what graphic design is. And then they kicked me out. They were like, okay, you're graduating. Get out of here. So I was like, damn it, I need one more year. So it was really fast and, very like crazy.
Pretty
like,
intense, I'm guessing.
Very intense. Like I just didn't have time to rest. It was like constantly.
Damn, the more you talk about it, I feel like that shit needs to happen more often to some kids, or
I know,
like, just that because I feel like most especially with parents, not necessarily in graphic design, but they always say like, I know you got potential, and they keep trying to push. But I feel like it's kind of they do it more so on the soft end of things.
Right.
What you're describing is more of the
it's hardcore.
Like militant style. Like, no, man, you suck. Like all that shit you did.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah. The 4 years that you put this together, man, all that sucks. You need to step your shit up, know. And it's like, yeah, I feel like, because I mean, you would say now that as well has benefited you, yeah?
Yes, definitely. But at the same time, I'm not a big fan of that though. Like sometimes I feel like motivation is also needed in positive way, because I've been always like, like work harder, like very like military style. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, not everyone, everyone gets to like really fly through that kind of technique, right? And that kind of came in when I was teaching in Tanapak Middle School as an art teacher. Every single one of them came into class and told me that they would not draw, right? Like, it's an art class. Come on, guys. Like, you need to draw. This is what you're supposed to do in this class. And they're like, no, because this is hard. I can't do it. I don't want to do it because I can't do it. And I was like, you haven't even tried it yet. So how do you know that you can't do it? Like, how do you know your capability? Yeah. And it took a while for me to bring that in from, for kids to really get motivated. And it's case by case. You can't just push a kid and be like, you need to draw, right? You need to make them draw. So those are some of the things that I've learned in life. Like, there are kids like me who want to prove people wrong, like who wants to tell them that you're wrong, and then there are kids who actually don't know anything about it, and they need someone like a compass, helping them navigate through. I see. Yeah, so it's been a journey. Teaching is really hard. Yeah. That's what I've noticed. Wait, hold on. Before we get into that, just so on your 4th year, all these professors and everyone that was giving you letters, did their view of you change? With anyone? I never really had contact with any of my professors afterwards, but there was this one time I started, so just to prepare. It's really funny because every big moment of my career, like a natural disaster or some kind of like disaster happens, because when I decided finally to resign PSS and finally get into the streetwear, I stopped, and then a week later U2 happened. Oh shoot. Right? Okay. And then even this year when I finally decided to DFS accepted me and we finally decides to launch in DFS, COVID-19 happens right after, as soon as I get my business license out. But back to you two, I'm not an illustrator, so when I decided to do streetwear, it was kind of like, how am I gonna do this, because I don't know how to draw, right? I knew how to do graphic, draw an icon, graphic design stuff, very boring stuff, make a business card. I can do that, but how am I gonna go back to that art school moment and draw these illustration out? And so after U2 for almost a month, I did a lot of hand drawing stuff. So I did. You just kind of doodled here and there. Right. And I wanted to combine, because I'm Korean, some kind of Asian culture and island culture together, because that's who I am, and I wanted that to somehow get integrated in my t-shirts. And I did this piece of, and I was sitting, because I had no Wi-Fi. My house was almost blown away. So I was in the Hyatt lobby because they have free Wi-Fi. Okay. And I was doing the illustrator. I had my Photoshop on, and I was doing the illustration. I combined a Korean folklore tiger and Rafalawash crown, this leaf crown together. So it had a bead necklace, but it had a tiger's face. So I did some of those mashup illustrations. Yeah. Wait, is that online somewhere? I did post it before, but I don't know if it's still there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I can repost it, but I did several of those illustrations, And my professor, my graphic design professor, Nancy Skolos, liked it on Facebook. And I was like, that feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she doesn't know who I am, and I think she forgot me or whatever. But
Yeah.
I was like, the moment I saw that, thing pop up, Nancy Skolos liked your photo. It was dark in my room. I had no power, but I was dancing like a maniac. I was like, fuck, like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Like, this is the time. This is my moment. And it, it's just that one like. She didn't even like all of it. And it was just that one like. And that just, it made such a difference to me. Like, like, oh, remember that one time? I mean, she didn't send me any of those, hurtful letters or anything. But just the fact that one of my RISI professors actually, did something, like, had the power to push that like button.
Yeah. You caught her attention.
Yeah, it was like, yes. So refreshing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we kind of jumped a little bit, but after your school, you were teaching at Tenopec.
Right.
And you had,
Well, after I graduated, I moved to Korea.
Okay, there you go.
I worked for a company for 2 years, and then along the way I also freelanced. So and then on my last year, because I lived there for 3 years, so my last year I just fully freelanced, and then I moved back to Saipan. Yeah.
So by that time you're all in after school, or after the school and your experience there, you're all in with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Were you getting some good business out there in Korea?
I mean, yeah, just to live.
Just to get by.
Yeah, just to get by. I actually didn't I wasn't picky, because it was like it was for living.
Yeah.
So I would do just anything that would just, come pass by. It's not like now where it's like some kind of like a project comes in and I can choose or anything.
Oh, I see.
It was more of like a, survival thing.
It.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like give it to me. I can do it,
Nice.
And so I did gain a lot of experience through that, though.
Yeah, so kind of sharpen your skills up a little bit.
It wasn't just like, bougie graphic design. It was like everything. Like, right? So it's from like making a pouch. Do you know how to make a pouch? I don't know, but give it to me. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out on the way, So it was very hardcore. It was very like, like street. I learned street smart finally.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah,
so it's
go.
like,
it's important.
Some people come up to me and it's like, she came from a really like an art school, and judge me, but like I'm just like, no. I learned that. So it was a good experience. And then on my third year I was kind of like, I'm so tired, haven't visited home for almost 8 years. So let's see how it goes.
Oh, so you never stopped by here before?
No,
I
was so busy. Yeah, so busy.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, busy with school, and then right after school was just living, survival.
Yeah.
And then I reached that point where I was like, oh, I need a break. Like,
so
I need to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And then that's when you started teaching at Tenopec.
Right.
How did that come about?
I mean, it was just coming here for a week vacation. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna settle down. It wasn't like that. It was like, okay, I'm just gonna see my mom for like 2 weeks maybe, and then I think I'm gonna go back. I don't want to, but we'll see. And then my parents, they were like, look, like, do you remember when you were a kid? Like, they started to like really like persuade me. Okay. They're like, ready? Yeah. Remember when you were struggling as a kid? There was no art class, and I was like, wait a minute, like, what are you trying to say? And it's like, I heard from someone that PSS needs an art teacher, and I was like, no, they don't. and that's how, like, and then they tossed me that application form. I was like, why don't you just try? Like, you don't. There's nothing like, you're not busy. Like, you don't have to go like soon ASAP. Like, why don't you see? So I applied as a substitute teacher, and it wasn't even art. It was like social studies. I didn't study social studies for like 20 years. Oh, I was like, okay, yeah. I'll just try, for the experience. Yeah. And then I ended up just, they re-recruited me as an art teacher. So they were like, hey, like, I think you should teach art instead of social studies. And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's funny, man. How did that go as a social studies teacher?
I liked it better. Art was way better to teach. Social studies was it was so hard. Like I just didn't know how to.
No, how was it though? Trying to, I mean, 'cause basically you were kind of learning yourself, yeah.
Right. I had to like read the textbook, do research, and
see.
look at. I didn't know how to look at lesson plans. I didn't even know how to make lesson plans, and I was like, why do people need to make this like every 2 weeks? And so my boss, the principal there would like sit me down and teach me step by step why.
Yeah.
And then by the time when I started teaching art as a subject, they didn't have a textbook or anything, so I made them an art history lecture packet, right? So the kids who were with me were the first students to actually learn art history in Saipan. So PSS didn't have art history as a curriculum. It was just, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna.
So was it just draw this apple type thing? You really got in depth with it.
Right. Art. So I had a feeling that in order for them to understand why they had to draw a certain thing, they had to know the behind scenes of it, so the history behind it. So started off with like African art, Greek art, Italian Renaissance, and so they went straight and learned. So beginning of the semester, they're like, what the hell is contrapposto? Like, what the hell are we doing? Why are we looking at naked people? Right? And then by the end of the semester, they would post a contrapposto for the other classmates to draw, right? So we will have like exercises like that where one of the classmates become a model, and we would do quick, sketches using their poses, right?
Yeah, I don't remember any of that in my art class.
Right. So mine was kind of high class. High class art.
Yeah. Back to you. I forgot to ask this, but back to your school. When you graduated, did your parents like know the magnitude of what you just accomplished?
Not really.
Yeah. Okay, because I know you said still to this day, but I was guessing
it took my dad to understand what graphic design was recently.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, okay. Recently when I made his business card. He was like, oh, this is what graphic designers do. I didn't know. Like, I was like, Dad, you came to my graduation. Like, come on. Shoot, I've been in this field for almost 10 years. And he's like, aha, like, I know now what a graphic designer is. Now he explains. Because, like, before it was like, Asian parents, when they go out, they like to like show their kids off as like a trophy kid.
Oh, okay.
And one of their friends, when they ask, so what does your daughter do? And he's like, I don't know, like whatever. I mean, she doesn't come and ask for money, so that's good, And I'm just like, I've been explaining like the past 5 years what I'm doing. Yeah. Like I design apps, I design this, I do this, and then he's like, I don't know what the hell that is. And then finally, like last year when I made him
business card,
he's like, oh, okay, like I get it. And I was like, 10 years.
Yeah,
like,
I know. And that was a turning point. It was
it
was a business card.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man. Damn, that's crazy. That's a pretty rough road with your parents. But do they support you now? You feel?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
or do you feel it?
I definitely do compared to before. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
All right. That's good.
So anyway, back to your timeline. Okay, so we do the school thing.
Right.
Then you do that drawing after U2, and then you get the light. So where does the transition from from all this to getting into clothing?
Mm-hmm. When I was teaching, I would see my kids wear like tribe, magas, and stuff like that. So I would be sitting supervising and looking at them and saying, why are you guys all wearing that t-shirt? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, and they're like, Miss, this is like the most in thing right now. Like, this is dope. Like, and they would do these like, explain it in their own way. And then I would ask them like, so who designs this? And they're like, I don't know, but the shop is, so somewhere, in next to the water company or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I go online and I search what tribe is. And then I really like what they were doing. And, because I'm like, I've been freelancing for such a long time, I thought that it would be a cool idea to freelance, do some work for Rob. Because my kids love it so much. My kid students will always come up to me and say, why can't you do these kind of stuff? How can we do this, right? Yeah. Like, I don't want to draw naked people anymore. I don't want to study art history anymore. I want to do this. Like, I know this is art. So how do you do this? You need to teach this. And I didn't know how to do that. So I went to his shop. I told him that I wanted to work for him.
Yeah, shouts out to Rob, by the
way.
Yeah.
Hi, are you watching? I'm going to talk shit about you. So I went and I was like, hey, like, I come from this background. I went to an art school. Here's my portfolio. I want to do a collabo t-shirt. I want to work for you. And we did meet up, but it never really, like, it didn't really come, like, we didn't make a shirt together. I think he was too busy. I was busy teaching, so it didn't come. It was
never really materialized.
Right. It was never materialized. And then one day I was sitting down, and then one of my students came over and asked, like, so what happened to because I would tell them, oh, yeah, I reached out to Rob. And then she was like, so what happened to that? And I was like, I don't know. Like, he never really, got back to me afterwards. And I don't think it's going to happen. And she goes, then why don't you just start your own thing? And I was like, that's a good idea. Like, if Rob's not gonna hire me, why don't I? Like, let's do that. Rob, we're still doing that collabo, right? Like, I'm still waiting.
We're not talking shit. Huh?
Yeah, but that's how it started because you never got back to me. So I had to make up my own, business, streetwear. So I was like, yeah, like, I have all this background. I've never done t-shirt, but we'll see how it goes and let's just start. And very gratefully along the way, I met really nice people like Island Apparel, Ed really helping me out, teaching me all the basic stuff because I was a noob. I didn't know anything about like silk screening, so I just knew how to like illustrate, maybe like put different imageries together, and then I'll bring it to Island Apparel and they would be like, no, you can't do that.
Oh, for real?
Right, because they have their own way of like, there are certain ways to design in order for them to print.
I see.
And reduce prices. Yeah. I didn't know anything about that. So I'd be like, can we have like 8 colors? And they're like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I know, man. Once the colors get involved, it's like oh,
why
shit.
not? We have all these colors in CMYK. Why can't we use? And then you can't. You only need to use 2 colors. And I'm just like, So that's how it all started. And
what year was this?
This was 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it pretty much started I opened up the t-shirt club in the school, and I wanted to teach the students how to make t-shirts, right? So that's why I came up with a streetwear brand name. It wasn't because like, oh, I'm gonna start a business. It wasn't like that. It was more like, okay, why don't we shoot for Flame Tree Festival? Why don't we start selling t-shirts there as students, but as a t-shirt club, like project.
Yeah, out of the school.
Right,
yeah,
but I didn't want to do like a jalopy, like kid made kind of thing. So I wanted to really represent my kids. So I was like, we're gonna make a logo. I'm gonna make it really nice. Yeah, so I hand drew all the logo. I digitized it on my own. I made my first shirt, which I gave it to you. Started promoting it with my with my students. Used student models.
That shirt you're talking
about.
Yeah.
Right. So we did a photo shoot going to Suicide. That road. So we did a photo shoot, and then for Flame Tree I asked my kids to draw, do an illustration, and then I revised it, and then I sold my first t-shirt and the club t-shirt at Flame Tree, and the governor bought it. He handshook all the kids, and that was like a huge thing for them. It was like a huge boost. Yeah, they're like, the governor, the governor's here. So I was like, yeah, he's here. Act cool. It's like, don't act like act cool. So he bought a couple of shirts, and that's how it all started. Yeah.
Nice. And you said 2017, yeah.
Yeah.
So then from there it just started going.
And even when I resigned PSS, the whole thing is still there. So I tried to give 10% of my profit to whatever educational organization or any organizations out there in CNMI, particularly right now only in Saipan because I'm not that big. So that's why if you see in the previous one, the National Honor Society T-shirt. This was same way. The club designed the T-shirt, one of the students, and then I revised it. I digitized it. I fixed it a little bit, and then I used my own money to print it. And then I asked the students to come to the pop-up shop and volunteer and sell the T-shirt because I don't want to spoon feed them. I want to show them how hard it is. You know. That selling a T-shirt, satisfying a customer is. And most of them are very shy. They're like, I can't do that, you know? And I'm like, you need to. This is your baby. You need to sell it.
This is one of your students?
This is the teacher, the supervisor's son who was there that we had to babysit. And I was like, you know, I like how you're running around. So why don't you wear my T-shirt and run around?
There you go. Marketing,
So that's how we did it. And for the pop-up shop, I'm actually the only female streetwear owner in Saipan, I think, other than Ashley. Well, when I first started, I was the only person. So I wanted to bring in more female business owners and promote their work. So I called Ashley, I called Momoko to come in and help out with the pop-up shop. So we made this really goofy video. I wasn't that famous or you know, I wasn't part of the clout, so I told Ashley to do most of the work. So we did that, and then we sold the T-shirts there, and then it didn't make
the shack.
I mean, we didn't print a lot, so it wasn't like big money, but I did give like 10% back to the club. And the rest of the T-shirt, whatever remaining, to the club so that they can sell it in their school.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. That must have been a good experience for them.
I don't know. I hope so. I had fun.
Did you get any feedback?
I did hear, like, people asking, like, because, you know, like, this is so little. Like, you said 10%, you know, this is so little giving back. But, like, you know, I can't, I'm not, you know, making money. Like, I'm not, it doesn't come like that. So it's whatever that's coming in, I give back. So if I become famous, maybe I would, you know, give more. But right now, this is all I can give you. So, you know.
Yeah, you know, you touched on that, especially how hard it is. You know, I kind of gave you a brief history on when I was making shirts.
Right.
And I just want to tell people watching, man, if you follow her, go to her Instagram page and look at one of I guess animation, is that, or like that short film you made?
Yeah
about like the cost of shirts.
I got so frustrated.
Because you know, with me it was always that, and I'm pretty sure anyone that has product of any sort, whether it's a shirt, a necklace, music, whatever it is, you know, like there's always family and friends come up and be like, shirt fun,
I know,
and I'll help you advertise. You know, it's like, no, man, you don't know the back work, you know, the behind the scenes, you know. And well, especially one thing I learned throughout this process as well is I was told to put a value on your time.
Right.
You know, put a price tag on your time, and then that's how you gauge how much a certain thing should be. And when you really sit down and see how much time you put in, you know, up until that point that you started selling those shirts, you know, that's 4 years or 4+ years that you had to go through all this stuff with your parents, you know, all the negative stuff you're going through at school, you know, just doing all these things to get to this point where, you know, people see you doing it and they don't know what everything behind the scenes, you know, they just don't know that struggle. And it's like, it's very frustrating, man.
It is.
And then, you know, even on top of, you know, I don't know who complained about the 10%, but even at that, like, dude, that's food that's not on my table, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's power that I'm not paying.
No, but
you know?
I understand where that is coming from. It's just that if it sometimes frustrates me too. Like, I want to give more too. Like, as per, I mean, obviously, like I actually want
sure
to.
Everyone does. Yeah,
but you know, sometimes it's hard because I try so hard to be famous. Like, I started off where I would, you know, like, DM someone and be like, hey, you want to collaborate? Like, I'm a graphic designer from Hootsie and MI. And they go, yeah, dude, like, let's do it. And I'm just like, I'm not a dude, I'm a girl. You know, it was that, you know, that point where, like, I was like, oh, I'm not known enough, right? Like, they don't know that I'm a girl. And then they get really thrown off when I enter the meeting and they're like, holy, like, are you Chris? Like, you know, and I mean, it's Christine, but I go by Chris. So like everyone thinks I'm a guy.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you bring that up. I read that article and, was it the Tribune?
She kept
one?
saying like yeah. So it happens to me all the time. By the way, I'm a girl.
Yeah. No, because I took a second. I was like, wait, is this the person?
She and I never met, so I just assumed that, and it happens a lot of most of the time. So I'm just used to it. So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, no, had me thinking like, all right, am I talking to the right person here? You know?
Yeah, I'm full female.
Oh, that's hella funny, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still getting there. I don't think I'm at that point where like I can give more. I'm still like, you know, working my way up. So this definitely helps a lot. Like I really thank you a lot, you know, for bringing me in here. Because
thanks for coming.
Because like, you know, not a lot of people know me. And even if I hang out with like, you know, like Ashley or, you know, they'd be like, who the hell is she? Why is she the only Asian girl there? Like, you know? Yeah. So I'm just like, okay. Like,
yeah, well, and that's what I was sharing with you early on. Like, you know, that's one of the big reasons of this podcast, you know.
Right.
There's just so much talent, you know, out here in the Marianas as a whole, you know, and it's like people don't see it, man. You know, even like, you know, shouts out to Glenn. Like, even with him, there's a lot of folks I didn't know that were trying to perfect their craft, that were, you know, really following their dream and their passion. And like, because of him, they, you know, it's given them an opportunity to really showcase that, you know. And and like I told you before, you know, like I didn't know who you were either. You know what I'm saying?
I knew who you were.
Okay.
No, I was following you.
Oh, okay, cool. But you know what I'm saying? Like like, you know, that's basically what this show is about, you know. Because even for some folks that people do know, they don't know what else or what they're really passionate about. They can see their jobs or what they do for a living, but they don't know like underneath it all what they really truly enjoy, you know. So yeah, it's cool to see that. And you know, it's good to hear that even with the kids that you've been working with, you know, whether or not they follow their passion or their dream, whether it's in art or anything else, like I'm glad that there was an opportunity there to see someone, you know, to have somewhat of an someone that could be influential to that, you know, like, oh shit, you know, she did this and this, you know. So hopefully down the line they follow it, you know.
Because like when I was growing up, I didn't exactly know what graphic design was. I don't think anyone here knew anything about graphic design. And when I entered PSS, they had an idea what it was. They had an idea what creative people do through internet. But it was always like, oh, I can't be that person. I don't think I have it in me. But I was like, no one has it in. Like, there's like 1% of people who were born with it. Yeah. And then the rest of us need to like work our ass up, you know, really work hard and bring that. And it frustrated. It made me angry to a point where like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it was all like nurse, teacher, which is great, which is a really good, you know, profession. Yeah. But that was all that they saw from NMC to people around them. Yes. They didn't see a lot of like creative people doing creative work here to a point where they couldn't, you know, look up to. They couldn't have an idea of what kind of different, you know, jobs were out there. Yeah. And so that was one of the things that I really wanted to focus on. And that's why when I do my projects with Hootsie, with my streetwear, I don't necessarily see it as only streetwear. I do more than other projects aside from streetwear. Yeah. Just like the PIC mural and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I try to show them that there's so many things you can do with you know, graphic design. It doesn't have to be print and digital. It can go beyond.
Or just shirts. I'm guessing everyone thinks here graphic design is only for shirts. Yeah. But, you know, back to what you were saying, man, like I feel you. I've said this on other shows, but, you know, again, that's what this podcast is about. You know, like I feel, at least with me growing up, you know, it was either school, military, or politics. Right.
Which is great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not trying to talk down on any of that, but it's like you said, man, there's just more out there. Right. And I feel like there's not enough people out here who they could look up to, one. And two, there's not enough people here to change the mind of the parents to say that, that is a successful path, kind of like your example, or you as an example with your parents, like I feel like some of the kids now, it's like, hey, look at your brother. He went to a 4-year college. He has a good job, which is fine and dandy, but what if that's not what they want to do?
What if that's not what I want to do?
Exactly.
And also, like, when I was growing up and I told my dad, like, I want to be an artist, you're going to suck your thumb forever, right? You're not going to make anything.
Exactly,
and which is true. At some extent, it is true.
Yeah.
Like, just to, like, you need to have that phase, right?
Definitely.
It's much more shorter than Vincent van Gogh when he was doing it. That lasted forever, but like to a point where he had to cut his ear off. But it's much more shorter, and I think there is a phase where you might struggle as an artist, and this doesn't have to necessarily be graphic designers. It also includes like actors, actresses, anything that's in the creative field, but we do it because mostly we prioritize passion, right?
Yes, definitely.
We find this more important than anything else, right? So even if I suck my thumb for like an entire week and have a side job, I would still want to do this, right?
Yeah.
So that mentality is lacking here, I feel like.
Yes,
I
agree with you.
Right, and that's what we need to show to the students and younger generations, that it's important to put to have all the all the things, like pay the rent, put the food on the table. That's all important, but like don't lose hope, don't lose what you want to do, right? You don't have to just let that go. That can come later, but don't hold on to it. Don't let go.
Definitely.
Right?
And then to your point, I think every guest that I've had on the show, like there's always a part of their story where they're struggling.
Right.
But then, what goes hand in hand with that is how they push through.
Right.
And I know early on, off air, we were talking about the hundreds. I think it was his interview that I watched, and what he was talking about was, it was so much of a passion that he understood that he needed a job to make sure that this passion moved on. So he was working 9 to 5.
He was a lawyer, right? So he became he's actually my role model, and I read his autobiography. It's just not a t-shirt. If you haven't read it, it's a really good book. It doesn't teach you how to make t-shirts, but it just teaches you a lot of life lessons that are very and he did it just like any Asian family. Like the parents will push you and be like, you need to be this because that's what makes a lot of money. And I was like that too. Like when I told my mom that I only put art schools for college, she was devastated. She was like, holy cow, our money is gonna go to waste. Like she is not gonna like help us with when we grow old, we're on our own. Like she ain't gonna do shit. Like, and which is still true. You're on your own. But like, I was like, okay, but that's what I want to do, right? And even with Bobby Kim, like he did it for his parents, right? He became he became a lawyer. He met the partner that he's doing the hundreds with in law school, and they realized, one day he was even good at being a lawyer, right? So they were like really good, well off. It was a huge path for them. And he even mentions in his book, he goes, that job might have brought a lot of booty in my life. Booty, booze, and cars. All the cars that he wanted in his life, but that wasn't what he wanted, right? He wanted to do streetwear. And he would talk about his journey, and that's the similar thing that I want to do, right? I'm sure if I have stayed in Korea in a company working, boring 9 to 5 design work, it might, give me some kick-ass savings, right? I would have money by now to buy a stock. But, I decided not to. And I still don't regret that. Like my colleagues still, when I go to my reunions, to RISI reunions, they would be like, why are you doing this? Like, you don't have to do this. But that's wrong. Whatever you're trying to say is wrong.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this, right?
Yeah.
This is my passion. I wanna help out the students, and if that is streetwear, then I'm gonna do streetwear. And I don't necessarily want to stop at streetwear. That can branch out, and you know, it can be anything design, because I can do anything design. Right.
Yeah, that's cool, man. We kind of went off on a on a different path there. I was trying to get your story. Like, no, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're sharing all this. And you know, like I told you before, before we started recording, like, you know, these are the things that keep me going. You know,
right.
Like there's more. I know for a fact I can't do it on my own to inspire, you know, the youth out here or other folks. So it's good to hear that. You know, at some point there's common ground with the two of us, or there's some similarities with how we think, you know, as far as getting stuff done and making sure that, you know, kids don't feel stuck at certain things, you know, like it's so cliche, man, but you know, you can be anything you want, you know, you got to limit the excuses, you know.
Right.
And that's been my number one excuse, you know.
Yeah,
but now I'm trying to get back at it.
We're just saying it in a very adulty way that we want to stay young and foolish.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, anyways, back to the shirts, man. Yeah, we kind of went off a little bit, but so it was a successful project at the Shack with these kids' shirts. So from there, you're like, all right, this is gonna happen now, full on 100%. It was was it right there.
After that pop-up shop, I was like ready to. I didn't want to do an offline shop because I knew there would be so many consequences and responsibilities that I would have to take care of. Yeah. And I didn't see my brand as that big yet to pay rent. Right, it was still like a starting brand, so I didn't want to do a offline shop as much as like how people would, you know, always come up to me and say like, where do you sell your shirt, you know? Yeah. And so I wanted to do online, but I'm still figuring that out, and I wasn't sure how to, you know, reach out to the customers. And then it was that one time where I was like, okay, let's try to do consignment. Right. And that's how I you know, got into the DFS thing and everything. I wrote down the proposal after this pop-up shop, and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to, you know, do consignment. So let's do that.
So you just went in there and you just pitched your idea and they were cool?
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, I emailed them. I was like,
no connections, no nothing?
No, I just emailed Ben Babalta, because that was, I think, who was in charge. Someone said, oh yeah, so who's in charge in DFS? And someone just, you know, blurred that name out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna email that guy.
Shit, and it worked.
I just sent out I sent out my portfolio, my resume, and then my proposal that I had, and I told him this is what I'm gonna, you know, have. I did a yearly, like a year design, so it wasn't just one design, it was like a lot of designs, right?
Oh, okay.
So
like a capsule? Is that a proper term for that?
I'm not really sure what that is.
Oh, okay.
But it was just a bunch of sketch, like of a brief sketch of like the annual design report of what kind of like designs are gonna be coming in. And
so you had something coming out like every month?
Right. Oh, so shit. I had that planned out in the proposal. So I think one of the things that he was concerned was like, do you have enough designs? And I was like, hell yeah. Like, I have shit ton of designs. Like, I just have it in my archive. I just need to, like, you know, it needs to see light.
Yeah.
So I came up with the proposal and I sent it in. He asked for a meeting. I think we had like 2 meetings. I was very nervous. He's a very, like, you know, like he looks really, I don't want to say scary, but intimidating. Like he has that that Chamorro,
I see,
intimidating appa look, which is like a middle-aged, like a father look.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
It kind of felt like, you know, I was being interviewed and interrogated at the same time. So I was like, but he was very cool with it, and we were supposed to launch it in February, and I was planning on a really huge like launch party for it too, and then COVID happened, and I was like, damn it.
Where's that idea at now?
We're still waiting.
Oh, okay.
We're still waiting for them to open up. I stopped producing shirts for now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that that would be a better thing to do for now,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the goals for Hootsie and MI is not only helping out students, but I want to promote our culture
Mm-hmm.
to Asia, right? Because that's
Gotcha.
one of the biggest tourists that come in are Asians, and very thankfully I speak Korean and I am Korean, so so if I can hold on to that group of, if I can catch their sight with
Mm-hmm.
it, because Korea is huge with fashion. Anything that's very trendy in Korea can go viral in other Asian countries because of K-pop and whatever cultural reasons. So I was hoping if I can, that's another vision that I have for Hootsie and MI, is it not only represent our culture, but somehow it kind of change it, fusion it into other people's, taste.
Yeah.
And then send out the message. Right.
Damn, that's cool, because when you get a chance, man, if you have a picture of that tiger,
I can send it to you.
Like I'm imagining it one way, but I know I'm completely off.
Yeah, there's like a Chucky's pattern Laddystone dragon combined, and then
in that same drawing.
Mm-hmm. And then a goblin Chamorro like necklace bead thing going on. So there's like 3 illustrations that I did.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was I got a lot of great feedbacks from it.
Did you get any? Did it ever get on a shirt? Or
I was hoping DFS would help me out to make more T-shirts, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So I mean, as you can see here too, like I try to integrate Asian culture into my branding, right? So this is a seal that I put in all my illustrations, so that people will know that this illustration comes from me.
Yeah.
And Asian artists actually do that. Once they do like a Eastern, like a brush drawing, they always have that stamp on to identify that it's from them, right? It's from like that artist, right? It's like a signature. Yeah. And so I wanted to create that, and I used.
So I can see hood, right?
Right. You see hood, but then if you flip it over, then you see T8. Because that's like a huge thing in Tanapa. Yeah. My students used to have that hand sign thing.
I know what you're talking about.
That I can never mimic. So I was like, I can't do that. So I'll just put it in my design.
Damn. Okay.
So you see that T and the 8 in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, damn. That's sick. Okay. Yeah. Very subliminal.
Yeah. Very Asian, subliminal, and cultural.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Hell yeah. Then what is this?
So that's the inspiration.
Oh, okay.
And then I did some sketches using that, and then this is the result.
Yeah, and John, if you leaving? Can you go back to the shack one? I just want to point something out.
If we turn on the
fan? Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool, man. I know I'm burning up too, man. Yeah, it might mess with the audio a little, but no, you're cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I know. I feel you, man. But see, you getting into it though, right?
Yeah,
I told you. Yeah. All right, you still good though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
We're still filming, so yeah.
Okay.
But no, I wanted to point something out because I was just so intrigued by how it took me a second. I was just looking at the pictures, and then when I really started reading your portfolio, like it really blew me away. And I'll point it out once he gets to it. Right here. Wait, was it this one? No, go again.
The
this
shack?
one.
Yeah.
So obviously this is the shirt.
Right, that's the result.
So Glenn knows this. When I seen him wear it, I was like, damn, man, I gotta give me one. Is it for sale? But it was exclusively for him and his employees, yeah?
Which can change.
Yeah. Yeah, you have double X in that? Oh, shoot. And I can see you got your own tags.
Right.
But anyways, go to the next page, John. And this is what blew me away, man.
Right.
Like, you really broke it down. And I guess this came from what you learned at your college.
Yeah.
Because then I see, the purpose of it. It's not just something that's going to look cool. There's a reason behind it, There's a focal point. And then you even break it down in this little graph on, what the keywords are and all this. And then, that was the end result. And to me, it's like, you know, it. I mean, I think so. I guess there is importance to a shirt, you know, looking good. It has to attract a certain demographic. But to me, what I like, man, is all of this. You know, the reason behind it, and it's almost like you know, go back to the shirt, John. But you know, when I'm looking after reading that, like I'm trying to find everything that you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like a puzzle, almost like a Where's Waldo type thing. You know. So going back, and it's like for me, it adds more value as a consumer. Like I really want that motherfucking shirt now, you know, because it's just so cool. It's very different, you know. Like you gotta some guy about value, you know. So the value in this isn't only that it looks good, represents a Shaq, but there's more to it, you know. Like there's meaning behind it, you know, and I find value in that. So that's cool, man. Is that what you do, or the list you have for DFS? Is it something along these lines where there's a purpose, a focal point, and you kind of break everything down?
Most of my work are mostly like that. Hood CNMI's t-shirt mostly depends on culture. Okay. So some kind of culture needs to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be Korean culture. I try to put like 2 cultures together at least. And because I am comfortable more with Korean culture, it has more Korean culture in there. But that's the main point of most of my t-shirts. This one particularly, any client-based work, I try to like really put more focus on the client's taste, right? Oh, okay. When I first came in for this t-shirt particularly, I didn't know Glenn. Like I just came back from like vacation or something, and then I was like, oh, this is a good place to eat, so I'm just gonna go. And then he goes, wait, you're Chris, right? And I was like, yes. It's like, yeah. Who are you? And he goes, I need to make a t-shirt, and I know you make t-shirts, and I want an illustration that says I love you, because that's something very big. Yeah. And I never noticed it on that day, because it was like my second time visiting there. But afterwards, while making the t-shirt, I did visit the place multiple times, and that was one of his big identity, I love you. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a very widely used phrase. Not with like, you know, like people who love each other, but also like for a place, right? There's I love New York, I love Saipan. Yeah. I love is like a very universal and very cliche word. Yeah. And I just didn't know how to mix that like in a very sophisticated, you know, way. Yeah. Very, and that's one other thing that I really like to do with my design is try to do subtlety in it. Like I don't want it like in my face kind of thing. Yeah, so there's a lot of like subliminal messages, a lot of like, you know, meanings hidden inside. And I was reading one of Natsume Soseki, which is like the national writer in Japan, one of his novels. It's called I Am Cat, and it's basically a house cat judging everyone. Okay. If you have time, read it. And one of his quotes is, because during that time they weren't supposed to express their feelings like freely, they would do it in a very metaphorically or like a very poetic way. And one of them was, I love you was the moonlight is beautiful, right? The moon glistening is beautiful was their way of saying I love you. And this came from him trying to translate an English book to Japanese. And his version of the translation for I love you was the moon is beautiful. And that was like, aha. Like, I was like, yeah, like that's what I want to do for Shaq. Because in his logo, there's like a sunset, a beautiful sunset, and then it goes Shaq right inside. So there's an image of a sunset in the word Shaq, right? In his logo, which is in the next page after this page. So if you see, there's like a sunset or sunrise, some kind of like a islandy thing inside the negative space of Shaq. So I used that and then changed it to moonlight. And then I used the colors that was in here, which was blue and orange. Oh, shit. Okay. Right. So, and then instead of having the image in the negative space, I used it to integrate it so that it looks like a puzzle. So from far, it doesn't look like Shaq. But then when you come closer, you can see the word Shaq, right? So you see the SHACK, but it's integrated with the illustration. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So,
shit.
yeah, that's
Fuck
how I created it.
Damn, that's badass, man. Oh shit. I'm glad you explained all that, man. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So usually clients just throw me like like a keyword or an idea, and then beginning of the meeting, it's like, damn, what the fuck is that? Like, what am I gonna do with that? And then Dude, and reading sick, helps a lot. Man. Literature helps a lot, because that's why I always tell my students to read. Yeah. And I tell them, read for fun. Like, YouTube is great. You can learn so many things, but classical books. Yeah. Can do so many things too. It inspires you in a different way. It opens up in a different way. That's why for quarantine I read 13 books. Oh, hey. Yeah. That was one of my bucket list for this year, was to read 20 books. Oh, okay. Shit. Yeah, I had nothing to do, so I sat down and read.
Damn, man, I'm still blown away with all this, man. That was badass, man.
This is actually one of my best work. Like, I actually really like this t-shirt, and I wish I can sell it in DFS. That was one of the t-shirts that I wanted to sell in DFS, to promote small businesses in a very subtle way. I don't want to use brand name or logo, but then something that people can like Hard Rock Cafe, right? Anywhere you go, any city, it says Hard Rock Cafe and then the location, right? I don't want it to be that, literal, but I actually do want to create t-shirts for small businesses that are, that are culturally very symbolic only to here, and then make that into a trend or a culture or some kind of a trendy elsewhere. Way. Elsewhere, right? So that's one of the things that I want to do.
Man, do you have any of these shirts? I don't care what size, man.
I only printed 10, but I am planning on printing more. Okay. Once DFS opens. Open already. Yeah, I am going to sell it there. Damn. Yeah, it was probably not going to have the bistro and anything like this. It's probably just going to have the mark for the customers. But when they wear it, it's like, it's a restaurant in Saipan. I visited there and I had really great memories there. The food was great. Yeah. And then when they wear it, it kind of it's a souvenir at the same time. So it reminds them of the good, time there and everything. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Shoot. But where are we at on time, by the way, man?
We're in an hour and 16 minutes. Oh, wow. Didn't we just pass?
Yeah. No.
Are we
you're
okay?
Good. Yeah, we're good. You all right, John, for a little bit? Yeah. So I have the question portion of this. Man, I read the questions and I think you got everything.
Oh, okay, that's good. So we're ending early, or?
No. I mean, we don't have to end now, but yeah, I know it was just like when you get started, everything that you kind of nailed already, but dang, dude, I feel like there's still so much more, though, man, that we could get into. Because, I always want to recycle guests, and, damn, I don't know if I should do that with you, though, man. We're going somewhere, man. Okay, wait, okay. All right. Let's not do that. Okay. So, without DFS, is DF, as far as your shirts go, is DFS, that's where you wanted everything to go? Was that I don't want to say end point, but was that the peak of your streetwear?
Probably not.
So you're trying to, so where else are you trying to go, basically, is what I'm trying to ask.
Currently, I am trying to learn how to not only design, I think right now we're kind of with all the streetwear brands here.
Wait, real quick, what's the difference between streetwear and I don't know, Magus?
I mean, I consider Magus also streetwear.
Oh, okay. So
but my definition of streetwear is culture, right? So we wear Volcom, we wear Quicksilver, any kind of streetwear brand that we wear is from a different places culture. California has a very huge skating culture, surfing culture, even Hawaii. And that's pretty much cool and very, very melt it down to their own, right? But we don't. I mean, we do have skaters here, we do have surfers here, but it's not our thing. It's definitely not part of our culture, right? Yeah. So I actually want to create something that represents, that has our own culture. So paddling, you know, things that represent us, right? Yeah. So that's my ultimate goal for Hood CNMI. And currently I'm trying to learn how to make clothes from scratch. And like I'm not saying like tailoring or anything, but like there are courses that you can take online. This is not like, you know, secret or anything. You can find it easily online. Making shirts by using, like, buying fabric and then making a sample and then sending it off to factories, right? The whole entire process. That's what I want to learn. So I want to actually do it really, like, legit. Like, I want to make my own. It's not through like drop shipping. That's great. Like, drop shipping is like a quick way to do it, but I don't want to do it in a very shortcut. Like, I actually want to, like, you know, you want to be, I want to touch the fabric. I want to use specific fabrics to do it. And I think that's the next jump that we need to do as streetwear here, right? Silk screening is great, but it's very limited. Like, and it's so hot. Like, you know, if you apply 4 inks on a t-shirt, back of it, especially like mine right here,
it gets thick.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially people here love black, right? And that absorbs a lot of heat. So we want to, you know, we want to be a trendy, we want this to be a trendy, like a very fashionable wear, not beyond being representing, you know, like repping the culture, but we want people to wear it and feel cool. Like, where'd you get that? Oh, I got it from Saipan. Yeah, it's their own thing. Like, just like how, like, you know, you wear like Vans, right? Or like the Hundreds. It's like, where'd you get that? The Hundreds, like, pretty huge in Cali. I want to make something like that, right? So that's the next step. And I don't think opening up an offline shop is, I think that's a very old way to do business. So currently, you know, a lot of people are helping me with how to open smart stores and you know, in Asian countries. I'm still learning. There's a reason why I'm not doing it yet, because I'm not ready. I feel like that's why COVID happened. I feel like everything happens for a reason. Maybe God was like, you're not ready for DFS. Like, bitch, like, sit down.
Hold off.
Yeah, like, you ain't gonna do shit right now. Wait another year. And I think, you know, that really opened up and made me do a lot of research during my spare time, because, you know, when we had that shutdown, there was nothing to do. So, you know, I was able to look around, you know, see different options. And we're still learning. Just because we're not making any shirts yet doesn't mean it stopped, right? We're waiting for another jump, right? So that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, because, man, even with all the stuff that you have on your Instagram, like it was the Clorox thing that had Hood on it, the wipes and all that. Like, man, I was thinking it was pretty clever, man. Or, you know, very catchy. Yeah, definitely caught my attention. The other thing I want to talk about is how you make stickers.
Right.
Yeah, and those are for online, or
we only made stickers for
they're not physical stickers, or are they?
Oh, are you talking about the Jiffy ones?
Yeah.
It never went through. They never approved it. So we're not,
shit. Okay.
I guess we're not popular yet. I don't know what was the decline, but I've been trying to make so many. So that was another thing during quarantine. I was like, if I can't make physical stuff and where everywhere it's globally, like, production is all stopped. What can we do to promote ourselves? What can we do to make money? And I was reading something, and it was like digital work, right? Like, anything that's digital is in. And so I started making emojis, like Korean emojis.
Wait, hold on. Bro, can you look that up real quick? Just go, man. No, because, dude, that shit was so sick, man. Especially the process of it. Go to the, I'm sorry, there. Go there. And then minimize that. or escape. The green button up top. Sorry, guys. Yeah. And then the plus. Yeah. And then
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. And I should still be logged in. But if not, you just put in your tag, right?
/Guahosi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, this is my stuff. /
Guahu _ C _ Hutsi and
Yeah, so all right, damn, it's me making someone famous. All right, anyways, scroll, bro. Oh, it's on your IGTV.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me show first what I was talking about. See, like all this, like Mr. Clean. You got the bleach. Keep scrolling, like that. I thought that shit was clever. Keep scrolling, bro. Yeah, there, Clorox. Okay. Yeah. So now, even that video was sick. But anyways, go to the IGTV. You see one point at?
This one.
Where it says post, yeah. And then.
Are you talking about this one or?
Yeah, click
the
on.
The first one?
Yeah, the purple, yeah. Yeah.
This was my first time editing anything and like making a video. Yeah, it was so hard.
Wait, is this the one? Hold on. I think it is. Oh, press play. Sorry, brother. Okay.
Yeah. See, the music isn't even like curriculum.
Yeah, yes, this is the one. So, is that all different? How do you even make this?
So
I don't think about it, you know.
So I asked my dad to buy me iPad because like you can't get any Apple products on island. So he was going off island. I was like, hey, can you get me an iPad? Like I need it. And then as soon as I got mine, I downloaded this app called Sketch.
Okay.
Or something like that. Because one of my colleagues said that was like pretty cool to like, you know, mess around.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got it, I was like, why don't I, you know, make emojis for Kakao Talk, which is like it's like WhatsApp in Korea.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what I did was I came up with an idea. So I wanted to create a character that represents like Saipan. So I came up with this curly hair because, you know, you get frizzy.
Yeah.
In like weather like this when it's humid. So it's like curly hair.
Oh, so that's where that came.
Yeah, and then this you know, islandy, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's my dog actually. I have my dog's in Korea.
Oh, okay.
And my grandma takes care of her, and you know I miss her dearly. So she's a part of the character. So I came up with different sketches of it, different like storyline. Like these two people or these two characters are like, you know, in a deserted island because that's what we were basically like. We were stuck in this island, and you know these two kids going through cool, like man. You know, stuff like happenings in island. So you know there's like karaoke going on, you know, with the Korean traditional you know mask.
Yeah, I thought, man, it was very entertaining. Well, I'm glad that you're narrating it now. You know, I have a better understanding. But you have to turn this into like a company, and they approve it. Is that
so? You have to turn it into Kakao in their website, and then they go through like judging period for like 2 weeks, and then they would tell you whether you get it or not. And then once you get in, you would have to revise a little bit.
I see.
And then they will put it in their emoji like store like a smart store, and then every time someone downloads it you get paid. So it's like 50 cents or something like that. Some of them that's like really expensive or like $1.20.
That's
so this is the
cool.
process of uploading. You have to go to the site where you upload emojis. It's all translated in English too, so I just typed it in Korean because I was like kind of, you know, lazy, but it's all translatable.
Yeah.
And it's called Kakao Emoticon Studio. So emoticon is like emojis.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. And then you just go through the process.
Man, that's cool. I mean, even watching it again, I was kind of putting all my attention towards it. Damn, that's hella cool. And all this was made off of the sketch.
iPad, iPad, I just sketched one time. So the previous like layer that you see, that's kind of like it's like the opacity is kind of like 50% and it's like see-through.
I see, yeah.
I have it on and then I just draw it. Yeah, draw it on it.
Oh yeah, and I think there was one more. Go back, John.
And then I got confident, like, you know, I was like, okay, and then I moved to Jiffy and they just didn't want to approve.
Where's the one with the rice crackers, the senbei?
Oh, I think it was this one. Yeah.
Sorry, John, one more.
Yeah, that one was I was talking with my friends and we were like, you know, we were talking, we were reading like those, I don't know what it was, but it was like pun where it's like, yeah, senbei.
Yeah.
You know, I was like senbei? Like bay? And he was like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, I'm gonna draw that.
Yeah. This is the one, yeah?
Yeah, so I didn't get approved, and then I just wanted to like do something with it, with that experience. So I was like, oh, let's just do Jiffy then. Like, if Kakao's not gonna approve of me, well, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna go to Jiffy. So
and these came about.
Yeah, so these are some of the illustrations that I did for Jiffy. So I love movies, I love books. That's how I get most of my inspirations. And classical books and movies, right? So like the top 100 movies that you have to see, or like top 100 books that you have to read. I'm obsessed with those kind of stuff. So I haven't read all of them, but like I try to read some of the old movies to get inspired. My brother, this image, this character actually came from inspiration came from my brother's hip hop movement called Shijo Camp. So he's in Brooklyn, and shout out to Zoo and you know, Gus and
nice.
Yeah, everyone else. So they have this hip hop group called Shijo Camp, and that's their mascot. So I kind of took the mascot's face and just put it on the rice crackers. And I think
dude, no, you killed it, man. This is sick.
I'm actually gonna print it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it anywhere right now?
I was gonna print it for this year's Valentine's Day, which never happened because of all this fiasco. But probably like next year.
Dude, that is so sick, man.
So it's like,
especially for Valentine's. I see it now. Yeah.
I was like, even the caption was like, if you're from Saipan, then you're senbei. Like senbei. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. So
that's badass.
Yeah. So that bottom section over there, the S is actually my brother's rap movement's mascot. I actually created for them. So
okay.
Yeah. So I just took their, so I didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take their face and just, you know, copy and paste.
Yeah. Damn, man, very cool. But none of those got picked up by Jiffy.
No.
Damn, you know, the ambition there though, man, is very.
It's okay. Yeah.
Like,
Rejection is always the motivation.
Yeah.
So
it's always a good learning process.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
Yeah. That's why, like, you know, even my students, when they tell me like, what if I don't get it, like, you know, or what if, you know, people don't like my drawing? What? So what? Like, do you like it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, are you okay with it? Then just do it. Like, I don't care. Like, I like it, so I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I think it's that fear of failing. You know? Like, but not knowing that, you know, if you take, I mean, if you fail, I feel like that's your moment to either make it your motivation or make it, you know, your excuse. You know, which one is it? And I think it's very important with, you know, growing and learning. And until you find out, or until you realize that that's what it is, you know. I feel like that's an important part. That's something I wish everyone can.
I'm really happy these days. It's not because like I'm selling like a lot and making shit ton of money with this. It's more of my happiness coming from is I don't hear that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when someone like comes up to me and says, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I created Hood CNMI. And then my eyeballs like rolling, like, you know, back and forth, not knowing if this other person knows what that is.
Yeah.
Beginning of my start, you know, my journey, if I say I'm from Hood CNMI, they're like, oh, you know?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, that O has so many meanings
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, like I have to explain again. And my happiness these days is that I don't need to explain that anymore. It's like when I say Hood CNMI, like 60% of the time,
They know what's up.
it's like, oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
yeah.
what that is. And I'm just like, yeah.
Get somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, it doesn't have to be like your happiness and your accomplishment doesn't have to be like, you know, like Dom Perignon or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
popping bottles all the
Exactly,
time
yeah.
or wearing the nicest shoes. It can be this. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that I feel too should be everyone's goal. You know,
Yeah.
seek that happiness, and whatever that is, everyone has their own definition.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
should be good. But yeah, man, oh shit, I feel like we covered a lot, and there's still a lot that we haven't covered. But you know, what's your definition of success? Like, what, aside from happiness that we spoke about, but like as far as the clothing brand, like where would you feel like?
Also, not personally, just
Yeah.
okay, clothing
Yeah,
brand.
clothing. Yeah.
I remember like I don't know if I think it was when Rob came here and he started talking about like someone wearing it off island and he was so proud of it.
Yeah.
I want like a super famous celebrity wear my shit and be like, okay,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
now I'm good. Now I can like go off of business. I'm just okay. You guys go do whatever you want to do. Like, you know,
Nice.
I have favorite artists that, you know, Asian or, you know, American. I don't care. It just, you know, we have music is one of the you know, another inspirations that I get out a lot, and I do support a lot of like, you know, unknown, you know, artists. Just like my brother, you know, he is not famous in Brooklyn, but he loves trap music, so he just does it anyways.
Yeah.
And I support them. And so if any of my favorite artists, it doesn't have to, I'm not picky, right? Anyone out there? Anyone who wants to wear, especially Jay Park?
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
so yeah, if anyone wears it and they represent my island and my culture, then I will be, you know, more than happy. Yeah. They don't have to know who I am.
Yeah, just rock it.
Yeah, Hood CNMI.
Yeah. Damn, that's cool. Yeah, man. Looking forward to that.
Hopefully, I don't know. Park. Maybe next life. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best.
That's cool. Damn. Yeah, no, and even going through all your stuff, like I like the fact too that you collab with a lot of locals. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
number one.
Yeah, and I feel that's very important. You know, the folks like you know, we've been name dropping like Glenn, you know, Rob, many others, Denton now, you know, with his videography. Like I love that we're creating some type of you know, its own culture or a culture in itself.
Right.
You know, of entrepreneurship. I always call it the untraditional thinker. You know. The uncommon thought process, and we're all, you know, hopefully we could all come together and just like put on some crazy event to where folks can come and be like, oh shit, you know, all this is happening with folks that are from here, you know.
Right.
We're not bringing any talent from elsewhere to do all this, you know. It's
and
all
and
here.
It's really important. It's not only like, you know, CNMI represents 670, but if someone who's, you know, famous in their own field become, you know, really big, then that's another way of representing the islands, right? It's like, oh, like she's from the CNMI. Where is that? And then it just, you know, brings all the spotlight.
Yeah.
And that's definitely our goal, right? That's why you're doing this. And you know, there's a lot of, you know, creatives out here. I feel like the kids here are like they're like gems, right? They're not diamonds yet, but they're, you know, waiting to be excavated. Like they're waiting to hey, dig me. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not just a rock. So help me out here and turn me into a diamond. And I feel like our generation is the generation to do that, right? I don't know if I can financially support them. I wish I could, but like if I can't, then with this, give them hope and inspiration.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hell yeah, man. I freaking enjoyed this conversation, man. 100%. Hell yeah.
I didn't bore you? Or?
No,
okay.
No, man. Not at all. Not at all.
Because it was pretty long.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. Good, you're a good
Longer
talker.
than I thought.
Like it. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here.
All right.
And like I said,
That's
there's still a lot of stuff that you've done that I really, really want to talk about, but we'll save that for other shows.
Save it for our collabo. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Coming
awesome.
Soon.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll talk about that when all this.
Okay.
After all this, but
all right.
But yeah, you want to give any shout outs? Maybe plug everything, because it was just yesterday. I didn't realize that you had a website as well. See, we didn't even get into that.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to plug anything, I know Guadalupe Hood, but anything else?
No, if you want to follow me, go ahead. But if you don't want to, I don't know. It's up to you. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. And, I'm just going to, I'm going to be here. So, yeah. Please hit me up if you want to do collaborations. Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, man, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. Especially with everything going on,
right.
Like I was kind of iffy if you're gonna turn it down or not.
It's okay, I don't really care.
No, I sanitize everything too. By the way,
so, yeah. I'm sorry, I sweated.
Oh no,
I was sweaty the whole time. So
no, all good. And yeah, man, for everyone out there, I know it's been a minute since I put any content out. Just been busy, man. I've been, very fortunate that I still got my job. And but yeah, pushing forward. I'm still looking for people. So if anyone wants to be on, hit me up. See if we could schedule it. And yeah, I know this may sound kind of cheesy, but
no, he's an awesome host. What are you guys talking about? Come on.
No, just fucking stay safe out there, man.
Right, stay safe. Please wear masks.
Yeah, please. Social distancing, even though we're not, but
I forgot mine, but please, first time.
But yeah, yeah, just like you two and Solar, man, this is just one of those obstacles,
Right.
And just real quick while I have the opportunity, but growing up, I used to always like speaking to the manomko, the older generation, and I love listening to war stories,
Definitely.
Now that I'm older, I'm watching the movies, I'm looking at documentaries, and I'm thinking like, damn, our fucking grandparents like survived a lot, you know what I'm saying? And they
this is nothing.
Exactly. And like they didn't have to
You don't have to hide in the caves.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Yeah. So, like this is our turn now.
Right.
This is our turn to make history for the future generations so that they could turn back and be like, you know what? Our ancestors were fucking awesome, man. So yeah, again, stay strong out there, be safe, and
stay tuned.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And yeah, I'll see you at the next one.
All right.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Shoot. Woo! Fuck, let me turn this fucking AC.
Oh, I know. It was so hot. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't.
No, you're good. You're good. It messes up the audio, but it's not that.
I hope it didn't like.